they have their A-League channel, then they've got Wollongong.
Yeah, no, he was always really good, particularly our local league. Yeah, they killed it. They smash into each other. So
I went down in his first game on his first Illinois Premier League.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Macedonia Park for a National Premier League's men's New South Wales matchup. Wollongong Wolves facing Sutherland Sharks. This season has seen mixed fortunes for the sides with inconsistent results, but sparks of promise for them both as well. My name is Tim Gibson. Let's have a look at the teams. So Oliver Yates continues in goal for the Wolves. Number 2, Harrison Bunel. Number 5 is Banri Kanaizumi. Number 6 is James Anagnostopoulos. 7 is Woon Subsim. 8, Sebastian Duarte. 17 is Marcus Beattie. 21 is Nicholas Olsen, 24 Lachlan Scott, 25 Alex Mashivecchio, and number 77 is Raphael Liai. Over to the Sutherland team, and Daniel Nizic starts in goal. Lachlan McDonald is number 2. 4 is Lachlan Fields. 6 is Muhammad Ahmed. 7, Peter Grozos. 15 is Matthew Morich. 17 is Richard Shueke. 21 is Jerry Skatardis. Number 22 is Kataro Katsuta. 23 Mason Fernandez, and 26 is Jacob Garner. The referee today is Jackson Mackey. The assistant referees, Aaron Block and Hayden Mickelmeyer. The fourth official is Sophie Allen. The Wolves in the red, while we see Sutherland in a bit more of a white kit. And it's a turnover here as Sutherland can come forward through the middle of the pitch. It's falling to Morich. A deflection out for Peter Grozos now on the right-hand side, and they'll take the corner. Well, as I mentioned, both of these teams have shown signs of promise, some good results, and both had relatively good starts to the year. But that's fallen away a little bit in recent weeks as we see this set piece in towards the near post. McDonald leaves it. Here's Fernandez. Clipped back in, but too far for the runner at the far post. Both of these teams picked up wins in the Australia Cup recently, and for the Wolves it was that 5-0 result that they picked up over Randwick City, which was an important win to get after that 6-0 smashing they copped off Manly in the competition. As for Sutherland, they picked up a 2-0 win over Interline, so we have seen in the national round last couple of times, I think, as we see Marcus Beattie down the right-hand side for the Wolves. Plenty of possession early on for Sutherland here, and they've started well. An early goal would make a big difference as Lockie Scott works hard to win that, and Skatardis can keep a hold of it, and they'll maintain their possession here, Sutherland. Sharks, of course, started the year with 2 wins and a draw, but since then they've just won once in their last 6 in the league, and a couple of big defeats in there as well. A 5-1 loss to Sydney Olympic, 3-0 to St George FC as well, but they have tightened up their defence recently. Only 2 goals conceded in their last 3. Here's a chance in the box for Sutherland, and it's a shot just over. It was a giveaway at the back for the Wolves. Young Duarte filling in at left back. I think that was Lachlan McDonald that pushed forward in that position, but for the Wolves at least it's back to a back 4. They have tinkered with the prospect of a back 3, but they have copped a few goals, particularly with the wing backs perhaps not pushing back as quickly as they should and gaps formed. But here's Raphael Liai, who's continuing to play in some good form and can find Olsen in midfield. Loses possession and Sutherland can play it out from the back. And Agnostopoulos loses out. Ken Izumi can win it. It's out with Marcus Beattie, who scored in that win over Randwick City in the Cup in midweek. Here's Mashivecchio for Scott. Scott looks to have won his team an early corner. Sutherland had their early corner a couple of minutes in, and now the Wolves have a chance to make the most of this set piece. It will be interesting to see how Sebastian Duarte fills in at left back. He's been getting some regular minutes off the bench in recent weeks as the Wolves continue to battle with the few injuries that they do have. Whipped in from Olsen, and it nearly went all the way in. In-swinging ball right towards the back post, and Nizic did well to claw that away. Looks like he'll travel across to take it from the other side. The Wolves still waiting for some players to return from injury. Sebastian Hernandez continues to be out, as does Dylan Ryan, the left back. Comes out to Liai. Best first touch, but he's hit a volley. Here's Anagnostopoulos for Mascivecchio, back out with Olsen. Sutherland looking to get out of a hole, but Duarte wins that, and it will be a free kick. Fields pushes it towards Mohamed Ahmed, who will look down the line, but an interception from Mascivecchio, and McDonald will take this throw. Here's Jacob Garner. Fernandez tried to dummy that, but will get away with the throw in anyway. Throw down the line towards Katadas, who knocks it over for Shueke, who can race in on goal and gets a lucky ricochet. It's a good first save from Yates. That was a good chance, particularly after the ball fell back to Richard Shueke there. Yates will look to get rid of it, but it's only come out as far as Peter Grozos. Here's Skatardis. McDonald down the right. A good block from Duarte. First save from Oliver Yates. He was rested against Randwick City, and after what was a pretty defensively solid start to the year, he's picked up no clean sheets in 3 games now. Flat ball again towards the near post, but well defended by the Wolves. Marcus Beattie fails to hold on to it, and they'll keep possession with Grozos. Good ball for Moric. Grozos again, and they'll knock it back to Katsuta. We'll send it back down the right-hand side. Is McDonald. Cross in towards Shueke, well defended by Busnell. Skatardis gets past Liai and goes past Beattie as well. Another early shot and a comfortable save for Yates again, but Two chances now down this left-hand side for the Sharks. Here's Lachlan Scott, who holds the ball up and plays it out for Masciavecchio. Back to Duarte. Here's Woon Sub Sim. And Agnostopoulos will take control of the ball and plays a really clever ball through for Masciavecchio. Cuts inside and drags it wide of the near post. An excellent pass from Agnostopoulos to get that started, and good directness from Masciavecchio as well. Wolves have an early warning shot of their own after Yates had to pull off two saves. Ball straight through the middle again, and Yates does well to get his head on it, but it's another straight ball that Shueike's managed to get on the end of, and Scott was the right idea, but Agnostopoulos is not going to get on the end of that one. Here's Katsuta. He's being afforded space. They're not pressing as aggressively as we've seen at times from the Wolves, and allowing Sutherland to build it up a little bit more. As Lachlan Fields finds Katsuta. Here's Garner. They're starting to press with a little bit more intensity on that play and forcing Nizic long. Mason Fernandez can't keep that one in, and the Wolves will have a throw in on this right-hand side. He's at Skatardis. That's a nice flick, but Scott works hard and picks up the ball. Here's Olsen, who picks up the rebound. Masciavecchio can drive and hit a left-footed shot. Again, wide of that near post, but two occasions that Masciavecchio's found space. Managed to get a shot off as well. Come the Wolves looking to press Sutherland. Fields towards Garner, who's given it away, and here's Woon Sub Sim, and the Wolves will take their turn of settled possession. Masciavecchio, who scored the last time the Wolves played at Macedonia Park, but hasn't found the net for 4 games. Here's Beattie and Scott looking to combine, but given away, and Skatardis with some space in midfield. Kanaizumi steps out. Masciavecchio, nice dummy. Here's Nick Olsen, and Masciavecchio's made a clever run into that channel, but well defended by Sutherland. Here's Olsen. Gets it back from Masciavecchio towards Scott. Can't make the contact he needed to get that on target. Lachlan Scott picked up a brace against Randwick City, and it's probably an important pair of goals given he's not had his most prolific scoring season so far. Had that goal on the opening round of the season against Apia, but since then we haven't really seen too much of the quality that he can provide in terms of goals for this Wolves team, which considering the departure of Jake True, who was his partner up front. Going to need a few more goals out of Scott. Free kick for Sutherland here on the right-hand side. Peter Grozos will step up for this one again and perhaps look to test Oliver Yates' glove work, who's been facing a fair few shots recently. Deep ball towards Skirtatis at the back post, but Buhner will head it behind and they'll have a corner. Skirtatis set to take this one. They have some big targets to aim for, and it was a run across the near post from Mohammed Ahmed. Lachlan Fields was making a movement towards the near post as well. He looked to try and flick that back, Ahmed, but Oliver Yates caught it. Here's Scott. Switch it out towards Beattie. Raphael Liai, who we haven't seen much of in the opening stages, but he gets a touch of the ball. And Agnostopoulos with some space. Here's Masciavecchio. Scott back to Masciavecchio. It's a heavy touch. Some neat interplay, which we're seeing a bit more of now from the Wolves. That move on the left-hand side between Masciavecchio and Olsen, and now that bit of interplay that went astray as well. Daniel Nizic pushes it towards the right-hand side for Mohammed Ahmed to drive forward. Here's McDonald. Finds Grozos, and there's a run from Ghana if they can switch it out to the left-hand side. Here's Fields. Finds Ghana, and he goes back towards the middle of the field. Katsuta dropping in between those two central defenders. McDonald looks to get away from Duarte, who does excellently well to defend that. McDonald has stayed down after that challenge. Looks to be in some pain. In terms of the Sutherland bench, they do have some experienced names, the likes of Nicholas Sullivan, Jordan Roberts as well. Daniel Wong is a wide option as well. McDonald is back walking fine. You'd think he'd be able to continue. It'll be a Sutherland throw in on the far side. Shueke, who takes it right to the corner and wins another throw-in. While we're on the topic of benches, the Wolves, they see the return of Ben Geisen, who was sent off in that rout against Manly United. He's back on the bench as a defensive option, someone who as well has played at left back. Dax Kelly, another defender who started against Randwick City, but back on the bench today. Damon Gray, Liam Ball as attacking options as well, but here's Raphael Liai, and it was an excellent piece of early distribution, and the Wolves can come forward. Still some space to utilise. Olsen clips it to no one really, and they can come back the other way through Fernandez. Beatty working hard to get back into position, but Shueke makes a good run into the channel. Looks to go past Busnell, but doesn't work out, and it'll be a corner. A few times now Shueike's made a really clever run into that channel and picked the ball up in a good area. Had the early shot saved from Yates, and that was another good moment from him. Fernandez finds Skatardis. They played it short and looked in back to Skatardis and spun off him, and Fernandez finds some space, weaving his way into the box. Good tackle from Olsen, and it's a countering opportunity. Here's Mashivecchio. Finds Liai. The space was on the other side, but Liai with an excellent switch pass for Lachlan Scott. Olsen up with him, so is Beatty. Here's Anagnostopoulos. Back to Olsen. They've got numbers in the box here, the Wolves. But it's a deflection, and Nizic will comfortably pick that up. Second time that the Wolves have managed to get a decent counter-attacking move going off a Sutherland set piece. Ahmed, who drives the ball down the right, but it'll go out for a Wolves throw-in. Just over halfway through this first half, and there have been chances both ways. Sutherland perhaps with a touch more in terms of that attacking quality so far. The Wolves have showed their moments, particularly on the counter-attack, as we've seen. But Sutherland, as they have done, winning the ball in a high position, but given away. They've won it back though. Grozos will battle with Duarte for the ball down the right. Duarte wins out. Will be a Sutherland throw-in, and they can keep the pressure on. Ahmed down the right hand side, but no one making the run. Duarte will look to clear this away and keeps it in. Back with Fields. Katsutz has made a run forward. Kanaizumi clears it up the field. Finds it towards Ahmed. Morris will get the ball back and find Fields. The Wolves will go forward looking to press, but Garner's got space down the left. Plays it through for Fernandez. Fernandez looks to take on Beatty. Finds Shueke, but Bunal cuts it out. Olsen. Clever turn. I'm not sure if he meant it, but it was a nice bit of skill in the end to find Lei on the right-hand side, who's not being engaged, but ends up with the throw-in regardless as we look to try and beat Garner. He's Woon subsim back to Beatty and Olsen. Can Izumi find Scott? There's some space here for Duarte on the left. Not too many options to find, and looks back for an Agnostopoulos. Bunal finds Lei. Scott will try to hold on to it, but it was a difficult ball, and Fernandez can come forward. Skotadis picks it up. Looks to go past BT. Been a lot of safe possession for the Sharks in this game, and while they have created chances, they're yet to consistently put their opponents under the pump. McDonald will play it forward for Morrick. They're in the box here, Sutherland. That was patient play from the disappointing delivery into the danger area in the end, and Yates can pick it up. Lei, lovely turn from Raphael Lei, and he can use his pace down the right. Lei was another one of those goal scorers against Randwick City, that 5-0 win. And it's almost a mix-up, but Nizic comes in and takes control of the situation. Here's Fernandez. Very fluid in their patterns of possession, Sutherland in midfield. We've seen Skotadis drift wide, same with Fernandez. Katsuta dropping deep as well. Grozov towards this Wolves backline that's backtracking. Duarte with another crunching tackle on McDonald. Can Izumi can sort out McDonald, who has been the more attacking of the fullbacks, been pushing on down the right-hand side and getting into some good positions. The Wolves will try to press here. Katsuta Keeps it moving onto the right-hand side. Is Skatardis. Moric back to Ahmed. Here's Katsuta. Skatardis. Duarte and can find space down the right. Here's Moric. Duarte's worked back. Grozos with a pocket of space on the edge of the box. Hits the shot. It's a good save from Yates. There's a nice pocket of space that Peter Grozos picked up, and he showed no hesitation in hitting the shot. A good save though from Yates, who's been the busier of the goalkeepers in this first half hour or so. And that will be Yates's ball as another Sutherland set piece goes in towards the near post. Here's Beattie. Towards Lachlan Scott. Can't hold on to the ball, and Sutherland will get it back. Here's Skatardis. Back to Katsuta. Garner. Free kick for the Wolves. There haven't been too many of those free kicks. The game's been relatively free-flowing from that perspective. Bunel clips it towards Lachlan Scott. Here's Marcus Beattie. Good ball for Olsen, who can find Liai on the left side, but chooses to move it inside for Scott. Holds onto the ball, flicks it back for Olsen. Here's Beattie. Scott. Olsen will take it down the right. Flips it towards Lachlan Scott, but headed away, and Woon Sub Sim will keep the Wolves in possession. Can Izumi? It was a poor pass, and Richard Shueke can escape now. Bunel comes across and just about deals with it. Good recovery pace from him, but he's given it up. Here's Grozos. Skatardis. Just to find that ball through. Too many bodies in the way, and another communication issue between Beattie and Ken Izumi, but it's hooked away. Another example of the persistent play of Shueke. It was in truth a poor pass from Woon Sub Sim, left Ken Izumi a touch short, and Ken Izumi ended up giving the ball away. Fernandez has just been allowed to walk through midfield, and it's on the right. McDonald will be flagged offside. Sub-Sim. Try and pick a forward pass, knocks it to Marcus Beattie. Important to note that Leai and Mascivecchio have swapped sides, so Mascivecchio on the right now and Leai's gone over to the left. Scott has given it up to Katsuta. Shueike wasn't making that run. There was not much space for Katsuta to work with. Scott, it's behind Beattie. Katsuta finds Skatardis. And here's Leai racing down the left, and it will be a free kick for Sutherland. I think that was Peter Grozos racing back, and might have been Mohamed Ahmed. Someone's just blocked off Leai, who's of course very quick, and if he goes past you, you're probably not catching up. It's a good example for the Wolves of winning the ball off the Sharks, who have had the majority of it, and then using that space that's been afforded to them to try and attack the goal as quickly as possible. Sub-Sim will take this, and well caught by Daniel Nizic. And Fields will take the ball for Moric. Garner will pick it up on the left. Fields towards Nizic. Mohamed Ahmed, who scored in that game against Interlines in the Australia Cup. And it's a ball over the top. Lachlan McDonald's escaped down the right. Ball in behind Duarte there, and there weren't too many options for him to find someone in the box, and it'll be a corner. We'll see if this is another Sharks corner that goes towards the near post. It's a bit of a floatier one, and Scott does his best to defend that. Jerry Skatardis with a ball back in towards the back post. It was Fields who got his head to it, but cleared away by the Wolves. The pressure will continue for the Sharks though. Garner to Moric and towards Katsuta. To use a bit of trickery, Peter Grozos, to get down the right wing, which he does. Here's Moric. Back to Grozos. McDonald was more infield, and it's given away, but hooked up towards the left of the box, and Garner will retrieve it. Katsuta, who's seen plenty of the ball for Sutherland in that holding midfield role. Fields tries the ball for Garner, but was offside.
All kids under 12 for our half-time book change. All kids under 12, make your way down to the halfway gate for the half-time book change.
Less than 5 minutes to go here, and a game that's yet to really kick into gear. There have been a few chances here and there, but nothing particularly consistent. Bunel will have to clear this away, which he does. Garner heads it for a throw-in. Zumi for Masciavecchio. Given away, and McDonald will race forward. It's a good foul to give away for the Wolves. They were in a bit of trouble with players out of position, and it was a necessary foul from that view. McDonald gets across in. Shueke spins wide for a goal kick. Shueke's been one of the Sharks' best attacking assets this year. He's got 3 goals, including an equaliser against the high-flying NWS Spirit. Has been a real menace to that Wolves backline today so far as well. Here's an Agnostopoulos, but Bunel will tidy that up. Olsen finds Raphael Liai. Lockie Scott's made a run into the channel. Masciavecchio's there if he can find him. Here's Liai. Liai will try to take on Garner, but loses the exchange of shoulders and cleared for Sutherland. Shueke does very well to keep a hold of that ball. And almost gets past Beattie, and a bit of strength from Bunel means he can't hold on to it. Scott flicks over towards Olsen, but McDonald's covering. Wound sub-sim finds Masciavecchio. Back for Scott. Katsuta gets a foot in. Got to find out how much additional time we're going to get. Had that injury for Lachlan McDonald, which may push up the time slightly. We'll wait and see, though. It'll be 1 minute. Here's Scott for Liai in the box. Good catch from Nizic. And it'll be a corner, a late corner for the Wolves. That'd be a great way to go into the break with a goal, and they've got a corner. Olsen's last delivery caused Nizic all sorts of problems, but the keeper did well to palm it away, so we'll see whether Olsen deploys a similar tactic to get the ball in towards the far post. Olsen plays it short to Masciavecchio. Olsen finds Leai, who's got a little bit of space and might be able to hit a shot. Fizzed wide. And that'll be it for the first half. Still 0-0 here. Have been a few half chances here and there. Sutherland having most of the ball. Tune in around 10 minutes time for the second half of this one here at Macedonia Park.
Macedonia Park, half-time score. Wolves 0, Sutherland Sharks 0. Reminder again, all those kids under 12, make your way down to halfway for the half-time wolf chase. Coming up in a few minutes' time.
Well, welcome back for the second half here at Macedonia Park. away from the goal, but it ended up clipping that side netting as Skatardis looked offside in the original phase and he's given offside as Oliver Yates pulls off some unnecessary skills. Certainly a relieving goal for the Wolves after what's been a rough run. And that's a nice ball from Yates for Olsen, who's starting to pick up that space in the midfield that he is so effective in. Here's Scott. Goes past Garner. Olsen. And has the ball taken away from him. Grozos. Grozos finds Katsuta, who has space. Potentially that reshuffle of the Sutherland backline not quite working out for them. Here's at McDonald. Gets past an Agnostopoulos, but he keeps working for it and wins it back. Yates and Beattie. Well, they've still got the ball, the Wolves. And they'll have a free kick, it looks like. Away, his old offside. Nizic knocks it long. Kanaizumi with a bit of a mishit header, but Yates will collect anyway. Roberts heads it up, and Agnostopoulos has won it, but deemed to have fouled Moric. And they'll move it quickly, Sutherland. Here's Beattie down the right hand side. He's still going, Marcus Beattie. Katsuta works hard to get back in front of the fullback. Masciavecchio. That's a ball that's come all the way through. Here's Raphael Liai. Taken away from goal by Roberts. Here's Duarte. And Agnostopoulos finds Raphael Liai again. Duarte to Kanaizumi. Rolls it into Lachlan Scott. Keeps a hold of the ball. And it seizes past to Masciavecchio, intercepted. Here's Moric. Bit of a clubbed pass, but it will find Mohammed Ahmed. Roberts finds Grozos, who's been dropping deeper and deeper to pick up the ball. But here's Skatardis. McDonald ahead of him. Skatardis with a ball aimed towards Shueke, but couldn't find him, and Masciavecchio will get control of it. He's seen a fair bit of the ball, Masciavecchio, in this game, which has helped the Wolves, particularly in the build-up, where he can keep it quite tidy, as we see him on the left finding Olsen. Olsen somehow kept a hold of that, and Masciavecchio has it now. Here's Lachlan Scott. Looks to clip it towards Olsen, who hits the shot, and it'll find Liai, and he's blazed it over. Well, we'll say he slipped, but it was a pretty close range effort, and Olsen did so well to get that ball back across, but it's a skied effort from really point blank range, and that would have been an important goal for the Wolves and would have built on the momentum that they've produced so far. It's a big miss from Liai. Need for Sutherland to regain their composure. Skatardis, that was a clever ball through, but he couldn't find Shueke, and fouls Bunel. May start to see a couple of changes from Sutherland readied. Not full of goals, this Sutherland team. Still in single digits at this stage of the season, so they'll have to work hard to get back into this one, as we see Roberts look for Fernandez, but it was a tough one to control. Hooked up rather than out, and Masciavecchio will launch that out. Katsuta finds McDonald, who hasn't seen as much of the ball as he saw in that first half. He's an outlet for them down the wing, Sutherland, and someone they'll want to try and get on the ball a bit more. It's clear that that move onto the left-hand side hasn't been beneficial from that perspective, at least. Here's Garner, who finds McDonald. Katsuta. Roberts, good first time pass. Here's Moric. Shueike's making the run towards the near post, but Skatardis has space on the edge of the box. Here's McDonald. Beattie finds Raphael Liai. And Scott pushes it back for Liai. Was there a pull back? The referee says there was, and it's a yellow card for McDonald. He was away there, Raphael Liai. been a couple of those moments for Sutherland where they have had to make strategic fouls. Players being caught out of position. Here's Kanaizumi. Duarte. Skatardis for Roberts. Given away. Good pressing from the Wolves. Kanaizumi heads it forward. Morich. Plays it for Roberts. Here's Muhammad. Raphael Leai. And whoa. It'll be a red card for Raphael Leai. It was a really bad point of contact, and the force it was made with as well was excessive. Looks as if it was Lachlan McDonald who felt the force of that challenge. So the Wolves down to 10 men for most of this second half. It's just after the hour mark, so they were just finding their rhythm as well, the Wolves. They'll have to adjust. No more Raphael Leai, which leaves them without that raw pace that he was providing. Had an excellent chance to score just before that as well, Leai. Could be an uphill battle for the Wolves from here. Looks as if there'll be no immediate change for Wollongong in response to that red card. Lachlan McDonald still down after that collision with Leai. He appeared to cop a hit to the head off Leai's shot. McDonald is up on his feet, which is good to see. A couple of Sutherland substitutes warming up at the moment. We look set to be about to get back underway. For the time being, it looks as if Sutherland may themselves be a player down. We'll just see who's picking the ball up on the left-hand side at the moment. So pass, it goes astray from Kanaizumi. Katsuta, who's not really put too many passes wrong in this game. Here's Garner. Fernandez has made a run into the channel, but McDonald will take up the space himself. Given away, Woon sub-sim. Finds Olsen, and Scott can't hold on to that. Here's Sutherland. Finds Shueike. Roberts with a shot. Took a deflection on the way through for a corner. Lotham McDonald now wearing the number 11. Scored against Manly in round 2, did McDonald, as we see this corner come in, and Roberts can have a shot. Sends that one over. We'll see 3 changes for Sutherland now. And that'll leave them with, I think, 1 sub left after this. Peter Grozos and Richard Shueike look to be 2 coming off. And Mason Fernandez might be the other. He is. Nick Sullivan's on. As is, I think, Daniel Wong as well. Scott. Masciavecchio can't hold on to that. As if Dylan Susovic is the other change for Sutherland. So Grozos, Shueike and Fernandez all coming off. That's a good ball for Susovic, who cuts inside, and Kanaizumi cuts it out. Here's Daniel Wong, who looks to shoot. Good block. Skatardis keeps a hold of the ball, but Scott was chasing down Garner, but the defender holds on to the ball. Here's Susovic again. Jerry Skatardis will have a shot. To have it beforehand, he probably couldn't believe that he had time to reassess and have another crack, but he sent that over as well. Interesting for the Wolves, they're sticking with just the 2 in midfield for the time being, in spite of the fact that Sutherland do have all those players rotating into those areas. Bit of a, at least mathematical mismatch in there for the time being. Masciavecchio can't find a Wolves player with his pass, and Sutherland will look to hold on to the ball. Garner out for McDonald. Here's Daniel Wong with a chance to run it. Marcus Beattie. Marcus Beattie sticks to his task well and will take it away himself, and rather cynical pull back there from Wong. Yates sends it forward. Bunel down to Woon sub-sim. McDonald, but Olsen's chasing back to try and retrieve the ball for the Wolves high up the field. Nizic and just about should get out of this, Sutherland, but it was a touch risky. Roberts for Katsuta. Here's Garner, Skatardis now. The former MacArthur midfielder. Here's McDonald. Ball towards Wong, good header from Beattie, but it'll fall back to Sutherland as Morich can have it on the right hand side. Yates does well to pluck that out of the sky. Scott. Skatardis. Clever ball for Wong, but he's given offside. Provided a bit more energy for Sutherland since those substitutions happened. Mashivecchio for an Agnostopoulos. Mashivecchio gets it back. Here's Duarte. Scott. Nice flick. Here's Duarte in the box. And it's a penalty. And a fantastic chance for the Wolves to further solidify their advantage. They haven't been too deterred by going down to 10. They've continued, particularly with the nice interplay between the likes of Scott and Olsen. Mashivecchio there. And Duarte continues his phenomenal game, winning that penalty. It'll be Olsen to step up for the Wolves. And he beats Nizic. It's 2-0. A critical goal at a critical time in this game.
For Wollongong Wolves, number 21, Nick Olsen. The score is Wollongong Wolves 2, Sutherland Sharks 0.
A long way back for Sutherland here, but they do have that man advantage. Seventh goal of the year for Nick Olsen, and he hadn't scored for the last couple of games, but that penalty gets him back in and around the goals. I think as well Mashivecchio, who's had a top game as well down the wing, particularly since the Wolves have gone down to 10. He's kept a hold of possession, which is so important. And in both goals, he's played a part. Of course, the assist for the first one back to Scott, and then that one there, he was able to help the Wolves keep possession high up the field, and eventually it fell to Duarte, who was bundled over in the box. 7 minutes of regular time to play, but as mentioned, there will be some form of stoppage that will have to be added on following that incident with McDonald and the Lei red card. Here's Olsen for Scott. Lovely flick, but Olsen's offside. They don't need any more players out, the Wolves. They've already got a few, and with no Sebastian Hernandez, still their options on the wing are becoming less and less. But Masciavecchio has played well today. He'll be important for the next few weeks without Liai. The ball went out, it'll be a goal kick. Skatardis, neat flick. Sullivan will try to hold on to it. Scott keeps going and finds Nick Olsen. He's in the box, looking for an angle to shoot, but he can't find it. Here's Masciavecchio, back for Duarte. And Agnostopoulos picks it up. They'll try to play their way out, Sutherland, and they'll get a throw. It does look as if the Wolves will make a couple of substitutions. Looks like certainly Ben Geisen and maybe Liam Ball as well, if I can see from what is the far side of where those substitutions are happening. Here's Katsuta. Finds Skatardis. And it's a good interception. Masciavecchio looks for Scott, and Scott's won it here. It's a chance for a third. Here's Lachlan Scott. And it's an outstanding block, but it'll fall back to him. And it's 2 for Scott, back-to-back braces for the captain of the Wolves. Garner did his best to get in and made a superb tackle, but it ricocheted back to the forward. And it was a simple task from there, and that goal puts the Wolves in a really strong position to see out 3 points. There will be some substitutions now for the Wolves. I think one of them is Nick Olsen coming off. It looks as if Woon Sub Sim will be the other one to come off. Ben Geisen coming on. Making his return to the team following that red card at Manly. And it will be Liam Ball to come into the Wolves team. Some fresh legs to see out what remains of this one. And Daniel Wong's got a chance for an instant response, but it's cleared away by the Wolves. Ben Geisen on it. Masciavecchio's made a good run, and what a ball to pick him out. Here's Masciavecchio. Ball slightly behind him. He appeared to have already lost the ball before he went down. An outstanding pick out from Ben Geisen with one of his first touches since coming on. Here's Roberts on the right-hand side. Ball drilled in, and Sullivan got a foot to it, it seemed, but Yates got on top of the ball. He's played well in goal today, has Yates. Has good saves after a couple of shaky moments in recent weeks. A minute left of the regular time to play, and then we'll see how much added time. But Sutherland have a substitution readying right now. Yuko Aramoto preparing to come on for Sutherland. As Morich clips that ball in for Sutherland, and he goes down there clutching his head. Looks as if the Wolves will have another substitution of their own getting ready. Lachlan Scott's been not just the goals that have been good today, but the hold-up play that he's shown. As we see Lachlan McDonald come off for Aramoto, and the other change will be Lachlan Scott. 2 goals for him today. Seems to be back in form now, and he'll be replaced by Lucas Trajcevski. Here's Trajcevski and gets the ball in, but cleared away by Sutherland and Morich. Duarte with another well-timed tackle. Here's ball. Masciavecchio has it now. And Trajcevski prods the left-footed shot wide. May have missed the board there, but I'm not sure how much additional time we'll have. The McDonald incident probably adds to that, and a couple of other stoppages here and there, so still some time for the Wolves to defend out this lead, and some opportunity for Sutherland to try and, if there's any chance of getting back into this game, explore that. Here's Wong. Skatardis takes it past Trajcevski. It's another ball into a decent area, but Wong was unable to get on the end of it. Duarte gets that away. Well, this will be a much needed result for the Wolves. back-to-back wins for them after a series of difficult results and an important response in the NPL Men's New South Wales following that smashing they copped off Manly in the last round. For Sutherland, it's another tough result to take after those first 3 weeks were so good. They've struggled to replicate their form. They've shown a couple of positive signs here, but haven't created too much to threaten the Wolves in the overall context of it, and of course the Wolves have been the more clinical. Certainly had the vast majority of the ball in this game, but even with the Wolves down to 10, they haven't been able to get a goal, which has proven to be a bit of an issue for them so far this year. Masciavecchio wins it. Here's Trajcevski. Masciavecchio. Good tackle from Katsuta, but Geisen gets it and finds Masciavecchio, who puts the finishing touches on it for 4. A deserved goal for the winger. He's been superb in his contributions with the ball, and that's just reward for what has been a top performance from him. They couldn't have reacted any better to going down to 10 men. They're the Wolves. And that's 4-0. It was a 4-0 the last time they played here, actually, against Western Sydney Wanderers. Beatty finds a ball. Trajcevski holds on to it. A firm challenge and a free kick awarded. And looks as if the Wolves might have even more substitutes ready. And it will be Masciavecchio to come off for Damon Gray. And Sebastian Duarte will come off. Dax Kelly to come on. Both had superb games, particularly on the left side. Masciavecchio with the assist to the first goal and just finished off a goal of his own there before he comes off. And Duarte winning that penalty and all the good defensive work he's gotten through today. BC just tries to lash it away, but it's come to Moric on the right. Susovic back to Moric. Ball put a bit past him. Back for Roberts. Here's Katsuta. Skatadis. Into the 9th minute of additional time. The Wolves 4 up. Roberts looks to go past Dax Kelly but can't quite do it, and here's Damon Gray who will clear it away. Here's Trajcevski for ball. Plenty of youngsters on the park now for the Wolves. Wong for Skatardis. And Agnostopoulos wins the ball. Tradisevsky finds Ben Geisen. Found another position in this Wolves team. He's played left back, midfield. He's on the right wing at the moment as ball wriggles his way into the box. Just about kept in, but ball will get it back, and that'll be full time. A resounding victory for the Wolves in the end, despite going down to 10 players. Lachlan Scott started the scoring early in the second half, and Raphael Liai was sent off, but that didn't deter the Wolves at all. Nick Olsen converted a penalty. Scott then grabbed his second of the game, and Maschi Vecchio finished it off only a few minutes before full time. My name is Tim Gibson. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, appreciate that.
See you later. Have a good one.
Thanks, see ya.
See ya.